Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Now, it's kind of weird you're seeing me do this one and I'm not doing it on stream. Well, that's because the one on stream, unfortunately, that one panned out really poorly. The draft was semi-decent, but combination of bad luck draws and and some bad decisions made it made it very uninteresting at best. So, so I'm going to give this format one last shot. I'm gonna cash this one right. I'm gonna cash this one right in. See if it pans out for me or not. Heck, at worst, it's a reminder that this is this is a very random format, so we're just gonna have to accept that we might get hosed again. Last our most successful run was 3 wins. That one was kind of fine. That was 3 wins despite having despite having only one good rare, and we kept losing to other people's rares there. Second run, we only got 1 win. Kind of got host near the end, but we did learn something quite significant. Basically, white blue flyers is really tough to go. It's really tough to race against because yeah, because you're gonna need quite a good amount of removal, and at the same time and at the same time the removal they have is generally universal. Even though it's mostly enchantment based removal, but then again, in the best of one format, how many people are going to actually be running enchantment removal? You'll have to have incidental. You have to have it incidentally rather than purposefully. So there we go. Let's see if we finally hit something really good, and we do hit something interesting. Soul of Emancipation, 7 mana, pretty expensive. I am willing to give it a try. Usually the trick is, let's see if there's anything that's solid that we can use as removal. Pretty much, but unfortunately the most solid pick here is probably Windstorm Drake, and it's kind of expensive as 5. You want the flyers to be cheaper. Brush Strider, 2 life, Seismic Shift destroys lands, it's not removal. Now we'll take the Soul of Emancipation. Super risky pick, I'll admit. I guess if we can hit cards like Druid of the Cowl later, but that's probably not coming back. We'll just see how this pans out. But more likely, but it does land us in white blue at least, so we can at least go for the Flyers plan there, then maybe splash green for Soul. So that is the other strat that we're going for. We're not necessarily. That's it. Well, green white is also the general color for enchantments. That's something to consider. Militia Rallier, 3/3 for 3. Can't attack alone, but can definitely block. That's pretty good. I whenever you draw your second card, we're not sure we're going to be doing that. Saiba Trespassers, more of control. I guess we can start taking guild gates to make sure we can hit our mana. Like I definitely want to fix my mana a lot here. So we'll be prioritizing guild gates that are on 2 colors over a meat. Militia Rallier is fine as a creature, 3 mana, 3/3, but our mana base is going to be the most important thing. We do have to be careful that we're not an actual control deck quite yet. Also interesting that this only destroys non-land permanents, so okay, Thornwood Falls. Let's see, what are our other options? Tolarian Contempt. Well, it's very slow. I'll give it that. Quicksilver Fisher. Quench is good as a defensive counter spell. I guess we just take Thornwood Falls. Probably hoping that one of the creatures comes back. Maybe even Quench coming back is fine. Also, it's a disaster to hit the home button if I'm not. Actually, wonder what happens if you hit the home button. I'm not gonna try that out. Also, based on our lands, we can be blue is gonna be a main color, which is not a bad idea. We can go for that. We probably want to be on the lookout for. Okay, can't be blocked, but 5 mana is kind of expensive. I might take Blessed Light 5. That's a good one at 5 mana. Definitely better than Vivisurgence Insight. There is a Druid of the Cowl. We can probably take that for early ramp. But we want to have at least a few solid pieces of removal, or do we just take the ramp? Because we're not seeing either of these again. So far, our plan is telling us we want to take the ramp, so we're going to take the ramp here. Prototype, whenever it attacks. This one's good as a prototype. A 2-5 that gives a +2/+0 bonus. Impassioned Orator if we want to buy a lot of time. Farfinder, probably the best thing because that also helps us ramp. So it's between Farfinder and Ironclaw. I think I want to just take the Farfinder. Stern Lesson, also a good option because it kind of ramps, though. Unfortunately, Soul of Emancipation, not an artifact. So we're trying to play with power, but how well is it gonna line up? That's the question. Spent most of my gold on this. I might. Okay, Oaken Form, decent. Over the top's a bit too over the top. Disruption Protocol, nice at double blue. This one is nice but too expensive. Blood Tallow Candle is removal, but it's way too slow. Well, it's probably better than Oaken Form, I guess. We'll have to. I guess we just take this one. Also, because of the nature of mix-up, it's hard to tell. It's gonna be hard to determine if a color is open or if it's just unlucky. But if I were to, yeah, like see, all of a sudden this one kind of opened up. There's a Botanical Plaza which I want. Paladin, the Predation's too expensive. Lattice Blade Mantis. It's actually fine. It's a mid 4 drop. Anticipate's also kind of good here. But we're gonna, again, we'll prioritize lands first. But so far, just 3 creatures, mid removal spell, and a bunch of lands to fix our mana quite a bit. So based on our mana, we're kind of even on all colors. Well, we can take the Tranquil Expanse if we want to, but there's also a Network Terminal. Although we could also opt for Adventurous Impulse to help us dig for creatures and or lands. This is a very good early drop. I think I would prefer this one. We're not going to get this back. It's already pick 8, but I think I want an Adventurous Impulse here. Also hoping that the computer fix is quite decent. I'm actually a bit of a nervous one. Plugging only 4 pins in an 8-pin connector. There is a 4 to 8-pin adapter I can buy. I'm probably gonna just buy that. Okay, Shrine Steward, don't know Shrines or Auras yet. Raito Sentinel, decent defender. I might just take a Sylvan Brush Strider though. Crustacean is kinda, well, it's a big defender, but the 1 power makes it really low impact. So far, we're definitely main green, which makes sense. We're aiming for ramp after all. So what are we hoping for? Probably a lot more green. We can actually just go along with mostly mono green, flash 1 or 2 colors. Yeah, the Militia Rallier came back, so we actually will. So we could either take that. I probably Cybot Trespassers is a decent combat trick. I think having a Militia Rallier and the lowdown is also fine. Witch's Web is also a neat trick as well. Diligent Excavator. We don't have. Well, so I think I'd rather just take Quench. It's decent, but I'm not sure if I want to run it. Whenever a Slacks or another non-token artifacts put, create a tap Power Stone token. We'll probably take Thirsting Roots, even though I could use more copies of the Refinery. Okay, so Savai Sabertooth. And there we go. Pretty decent start. Hey, you can get Jace Cunning Castaway. Create. Draw and discard. Probably not going to be making multiple copies anytime soon. I do want to take this one. My alternate is probably Omen of the Hunt. Fortified Village is also a decent one. Draga Visionary is also nice. I think we try to go with. I kind of want to try Jace here.
We'll make this look easy.
I sure hope so, because right now my draft looks really hard. Well, we do have a Gateway Plaza, that definitely fixes. We kind of want to try to get as much removal, so Wanderer's Strike is a pretty good option. Imprisoned by the Moon is also a decent option as well. Since we're gonna go mostly blue at this point, I think I want to take Imprisoned, although that is the worst. That is admittedly the worst removal of the bunch. But yeah, Thirsting Roots having proliferate's nice. I guess we could have taken Wanderer's Strike. That one also gives proliferate. Topple Guys tap. I would rather just take a Cloudkin Seer, or maybe you hear something on Watch. I think we take the Seer at this time. There's the next more Sea Guard there. Yeah, we'll take the Seer. We want to get some. We want to get as much card draw as possible. So we are we are closer to green blue at this point, which is not bad. I might still put the Sabertooth back. Depends on if we can get it to run. So it's about buying as much time as possible. Militia Rallier is still fine. It's even if it can't attack alone, it's still decent as a blocker. Ooh, Price Amalgam. I could use a copy of this. Is there anything that we can actually take for real? Jade Garden, we don't have any actual Merfolk. Feywild Trickster, when you roll one or more dice, we're not rolling dice. Neglected Heirloom requires the creature to actually transform. There's a Moorland Inquisitor, but you know what? I could just take Terrarion also, but you know what? If you're not giving me anything, I'm just gonna get rares. Also, who's to say we can't splash black though? Yeah, right now it's really blue-green control. We do want to get more ways to ramp. We also want to have an additional finisher, one or two finishers aside from this one. Marionette Master would be a good option. Ancient Brontodon way too expensive. I would rather probably have something like a Kazandu Stomper instead. Expedition Diviner. How many wizards do we have? One, so not necessarily gonna pan out. Rogue might be slightly better. There's also Expedition Healer, but we probably don't have a Cleric. I guess we could take this as a Flying Tree too. And yeah, I think I would want this one as a mid card. Yeah, let's. Ooh, Treasure Vault. So this one can help set us up for treasure tokens in the future. Alternately, we can just take Healer of the Glade to buy us a lot more time. Deny Existence. Well, that we can go counter spells as a plan. Treasure Vault. Yeah, I think we just take. I think I do want to take the. I'll take the Deny Existence because that might seem to be our plan right now. Risen Riptide, not likely. Queen's Commission is pretty decent for buying time. Diviner's Lockbox. We need to have a way to scry to make this work. As it is, it looks like black is underdrafted right now. I'm gonna take the Return to Nature. I might be able to fit that in. Thriving Turtle is fine here. Universal Solvent's way too expensive. We're now main blue at this point. We didn't exactly get that much in the way of green cards, but we're still secondary green. Okay, Wild Shape is a good way to fit this one. Kazandu Nectar Pod, also a good way to gain quite a lot of life. We can actually go for this instead. Yeah, we'll take the Nectar Pod. Turn Timber Ascetic also lines up with that. We can also take an Explosive Apparatus instead. But we do need a few top end cards. We'll take that. Precise Strike. likely take Kaladesh Remaster anytime soon. Leather arm. Am I missing anything? Ooh, actually missing Macabre Waltz. No, I'll take the leather arm. No, I'm not gonna fit leather armor in this deck at all. It's not gonna happen. There's a steady aim, untap. This actually is a good combat trick. Probably will take this over the Brontodon here. Though I will it's probably one of the first things to cut. Deadly Dispute would be nice if we were in black. I'm actually surprised no one took the Deadly Dispute. Is no one really in black? That would explain why I'm having such a hard time. Well, speaking of black, there's King Narfi's Betrayal. I'm probably going to take the best creature for limited, which is Mist Raven. Alternate options would be Crashing Tide. Probably not Covetous Urge. Yeah, white is probably by the wayside at this point. We're definitely taking Mist Raven here. We could even cut the Militia Rallier at this point as well. So the white splash is literally just for Soul of Emancipation, but now we need to have a good... And we're pretty much playing Control. Control life gain until we can hit our top end. Kiandine of Substance to exile and make tokens. This is an option for us. Frogify, also a decent removal spell. Depart the Realm is fine. We can also just take another top end best creature, Colossal Dreadmaw. This one is likely to wheel, so I'm probably gonna take Dreadmaw instead. Okay. So what do we have here? Bramble Armor. It's a one-shot attach. It's not so great. Bayou Gruff might work. We do have a few cheap creatures we can sack to get this guy out. Geist Wave, pretty decent combat trick. We need to actually make cuts here. Also, yeah, we're kind of split even. I think we take the Biogruff. Giant's Amulet, more of a late game card, but I probably want to take that. Thunderhead Squadron's fine. Timberland Guide is meh, though it's a nice one to sacrifice for the Gruff in this case. Opt is just Opt. It's fine. There is an Arctic Tree Line which we can take to also fit the land, and so we're not exactly missing anything. Yeah, we just fix our lands even more. This way we can get away with running just one Plains, but I might even eschew that one. Assimilate Essence, pretty decent counter spell. There's going to be a lot of creatures we're going to counter this way. Vodalian Sea Scavenger, look at the top X cards, put one in your hand. That's actually fine too. So I'm actually okay with any of these three here. I think we take the Sea Scavenger. Even if it's just a domain of 2, we're quite good here. If it attacks this turn, you may return target creature to its owner's hand. That's a very good one for us. Quarry Hauler's fine. Quarry Hauler's fine. Our average mana is 3 though, so we kind of want to start lowering that curve a bit. There is a Containment Breach. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. It can be relevant at times. Disturbing Conversion's a decent combat trick. We can consider, or likewise we can just take a Draugr Taut Thief. I think we take the Teeth. Mist of Littjara. Yeah, it's a decent enough combat trick. There's also a Talus Lookout. I can opt for that instead of some of the more expensive cards. So we are getting closer to main blue. And it's also a flyer, so I guess we can take that and we can probably shoot on one of the smaller cards instead. Seer of Last Tomorrow, discard a card, target player mills tree. Not really. Ritual Guardian's fine. Ornery Kudu. We'll see. We'll see if we might. We'll see if we want to pivot. Hey, Frogify came back. So I might actually cut the candle here. Turtle still fine. Furtive and analyst, fine, but not excited for. I'm gonna start grabbing some green cards in case I want to pivot. But from the looks of it, I think main blue is actually gonna work out a bit. We do need to make one cut. Got the frantic inventory that we're probably definitely not gonna run. That's more of a constructed. Actually, it's decent enough. It's still a cantrip. It's fine. Thriving. We might cut the thriving turtle actually, because it's basically just a creature. Though it does combo really nicely with Biogruff, so that's something to consider. I definitely. So Thought Thief is probably the weakest card in the bunch. I could just cut that one. Our 4-drops are all creatures, so that's also something nice to consider. Do we have enough wizards? 2 wizards, so not exactly rocking that boat. We could improve our odds on that. Let's say add a furtive analyst, then we just have to make another cut. Like Brush Strider is a decent cut at this point. Nectar Pot, no, we're probably gonna keep Nectar Pot still. Steady Aim is probably worth a cut. It's just combat trick. Yeah, I guess we can run it like this, see if it pans out. Also, don't forget the lands. And we want to still have 1 planes for Farfinder. Okay, we'll see if this pans out. Wish me luck, everyone, or at least wish me at least 4 wins. I want to get back on this. Last few drafts were really rough, to say the least. Okay, turn 1 turtle. We can wait it out for a while, I guess. Turn 3 Castaway. If our opponent doesn't have anything, I can just do draw a card, discard a card. Okay, Vine Wall. That's actually a decent one. I might actually just hold up mana for the Deny Existence instead, even though, yikes, we have a Druid of the Cowl now. This allows me to start putting some pressure at least. Now, let's see if our opponent drops something relevant as a 3-drop. Because I need to know if I want to hold up Deny Existence or if I can just freely play Druid of the Cowl and hopefully hit a land next turn for a Dreadmaw. Fogwalker has Skulk. Yeah, that didn't quite pan out for our opponent. So opponent probably just blocks with that. That's it. Now, yeah, I'm still gonna hold up mana, though because our opponent definitely will have a 4-drop. Now this one, let's double check Skull. Can't be blocked with greater power, so Thriving Turtle can still block. Also, Deny Existence only counters creature spells, so if our opponent has something else, it's not the worst. Yeah, that's definitely a good counter target. Ooh, we also hit the Sea Scavenger here, so
let's think this through.
opponent can still block this one correctly. So next turn is Dreadmaw. Hopefully we hit Spontaneous Flight, snipes Jace, that's fine.
This isn't over until we figure out a solution.
And now the race begins. Now it's a matter of, now it's about if we can hit that one more land. Opponent drops a Monk. Opponent drops an Anatomist. So because of that sequence, they can tap it to proliferate. It works better here. So yeah, this one's not going through. This one can still. Okay, these two can. Opponent's probably gonna give up the wall, which makes sense. No, they're not giving it up quite yet. It's still gonna trample. I get. Hopefully, our opponent's based on enchantment removal. Soul of Emancipation would really be nuts here. All right, Malkin. Now, let's hope our opponent does not have a board wipe because I'm about to go all in on this. Ephemerate, sure. Going for the double block. So opponent can blink something, can ephemerate something back. They're going for the wall because they really need to hit something. Though that only hits land cards, so I'm not so sure that was the best thing they can hit. Forerunner, give other creatures trample, but yeah, we're just gonna fly over it. That was gonna be it. So Soul of Emancipation wins us one game, and though we did have to kind of work for it. It was not a free win. We have to remember, if you have to hit the 7-drop, you kind of have to work for it. We had to put ourselves in a position where we were able to do it without any risk. Also, I forgot to. Okay, so that's a pretty decent first win. Let's see if we can keep the train going. Also, having the few counter spells is really important too. So, yeah, pretty good representation here. Turn 2 Quench into turn 3 Cloud Conceer. Would really like to draw into another blue source at least. Now, we can imprison our own creature if we really need the mana. Let's keep that in mind. It has Defender, but I would rather just cast this now on that, so because I don't think I can keep holding it up. And there we go. He got the sequence. So next turn we probably just do Talus Lookout. Alternately, if our opponent plays something that we really have to remove, Vortex Runner doesn't count. Yeah, we're gonna... Now this is the alternate plan, flying aggro. Inga Rune Ice. Sure. Nice scry. Nice scry. But at least we're flying over, though it's not a trading battle. If we can hit one more land, Turn Timber Ascetic is really good for us. Otherwise, I might just play Druid. I don't think Imprison... We could also just Imprison Inga. No. Now, our opponent could still have a response to this. They most likely will aim for this one, but we did change the tempo just by gaining the life. That was pretty good enough. Next turn, depending on what we drop, maybe Cowl Imprison. Adventurous Impulse is also a possibility. Opponent goes for the Deep Freeze. It loses. Oh, opponent has all the lockdown cards, I guess. So we now have a Deny Existence, which we can use. Now, yep, and that's the downside. And now that is the downside of and opponent is skipping because now this one is whenever opponent probably has a combat trick. I'm fine with it. Not enough creatures are gonna die if you want to draw the 3 cards. Though yeah, we're gonna... Now this one is gonna be super suspicious. Opponent will be expecting a counter spell, but we have to do it this way just to be on the safe side, because that's the only way our opponent's coming back. It's gonna be a counter spell. No, counter spell. It's gonna be a creature. I guess a board wipe also brings them back, but it's not the worst thing that can happen. We still have cards in hand. And that kind of ruins, and that now ruins it for our opponent, I suppose. Opponent is gonna hit us. We're gonna take. We can play the Bayou. Ooh, we're definitely taking Soul. I don't like going all in here. Yeah, I'm passing because I don't like the idea of going all in, especially in the board where we don't really have to. You have to you kind of still have to respect the double white. Dungeon Geist, tap target creature. Sure. Now, watch them regret not tap. can't. We did draw soul again, but we had. It's about being in a position where we're comfortable enough to play it. Opponent did have a dungeon, guys, but we were able to. Well, we were able to punch through out of that. That was a good one. It's also kind of taking advantage of the fact that everyone is really liking to play white blue. So, but white blue, as far as removal is concerned, has its own weaknesses. Though a few of the cards we were lucky to see them in draft, like the Bayou Gruff was a pretty good one. What else? Yeah, the Dead Eye Rigger is also was also a very good one. It actually fits in being most likely bouncing our own creatures back. Dead Eye Rig Hauler. Now this one is a bit sketchy because we have nothing to do until turn 4 after this. But if it gives us all our colors, I'm willing to risk it. Yeah, let's kind of risk it for the biscuit. Does our opponent have actual... Nope. Soul Collared Raptor. Let's see if our opponent does not suspect a thing. Yeah, if I'd done that in the other order, they would not have blocked at all. Opponent actually playing black-red though, so that's actually an interesting haul. Ashnod. Ashnod, I'm willing to trade with. So we actually have an interesting conundrum. I can either go for the Voda Sea Scavenger now. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll swing. If our opponent trades, and okay, they did not. Okay, set them back a little bit. Opponent could just... Yeah, this is going to be annoying though. Opponent's going to be able to make a lot of tokens ad infinitum. That said, our plan now is to try to get to at least 6 mana just for Colossal Dreadmaw. The 7th mana will come eventually. Opponent playing it good. Okay, Desperate Farmer into Ashnod. We do hit our 5th mana. Don't know if I would have auto-tapped it that way. There's our 6th land, but it's not green, so I probably want to just take the Talus Lookout. I'm gonna keep swinging here. So that does transform this, so... But it does get Ashnod out of the way. Hello? Yeah, medyo. Kanati. Okay. Not necessarily. If it keeps jumping around, as in like it's not locking into one place. It might be your object snap settings. I think there might be too many, so you might want to reduce the number of things it's snapping to. Yun lang. That's all I can think of. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If that's the only tree, yeah, just remove it muna. See if it still keeps happening. If it keeps happening, maybe check the battery of your mouse. Check your mouse. Okay, sige. Okay, sige. Okay. tech, tech, tech support. Sometimes sometimes your relatives will call, and it doesn't matter what you do, you have to help them. Nothing wrong with that, if you ask me. That said, our opponent is in a very good position where if they have removal, it messes things up a bit. Am I happy? Mayhem Patrol. Surprised our opponent did not blitz that, but well. Opponent can just bring this out anytime. The problem is Anvil Rot Raptor at its cost is pretty. Okay, opponent brings it out. So the question now is, what is our opponent's big plan here? Because I have a plan on my end. It will involve killing the raptor so that I don't have to worry about this. Unfortunately, is a destroy, not an exile effect. Yeah, wrecking the raptor, even though it gives it more toughness, is mostly because the first strike is really annoying. Now our opponent probably still has removal. If any, it's probably going to show that Soul of Emancipation is not going to be the way out all the time. Also, us running out of cards is a very bad deal for us. I'm hoping opponent trades with Talus Lookout because I really want to. I need to draw that extra card. Hopefully, it's not an exile effect. That would be annoying. Death Touch is likely. Yeah, Blade Brand, Death Touch, draw a card. Sure, but at least we do get the damage through, so I'm actually fine with that. So it's not completely lost. Opponent just gets actually, yeah, cards like Reassembling Skeleton combo really well with Death Touch cantrips. Though now we kind of have air superiority. Any removal would the few removal spells we have would be nice. Does our opponent have a big rare that can wipe our board? Plausible. Maybe not. Boomflank Mauler. So back up to give some. So that gives this guy Menace. Target creature 7/5. So interesting proposition. Opponent wants to trade. I say no. Because our opponent's not, the opponent still gets the counters, but they're not going to be able to keep doing that. And also we can now just hard cast Gruff at this point. Not even so sure if this is. Actually, now I think of it, this might actually be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Opponent can just choose not to block on any of this. They need to decide if they want to take anything out. Nope. Also nice to know that you don't have to sacrifice a creature for this. Well, maybe sacrificing creature would be a good option. Like if we draw into a decent card, I should have considered that because we can sack this, draw into another card, and hopefully it's a creature that we could play around. Gloomfang Mauler actually pretty decent here. I did opt for the other block. I maybe could have just in hindsight, maybe I should have just blocked this one. So that this is not a constant threat anymore. Like our opponent can get back up to 14 though. Yeah, we probably should have sacrificed this one. Vraska's Fall. Oh, we're sacrificing it now. Definitely want the Brush Strider because we are gonna need that cushion later. Scarecrow. We could play it. Yeah, we do have a draw discard effect. But that's Jace Cunning Castaway. I'm more likely to just play the mic. So if I swing, definitely, let's see, because this one it's 2 mana to sack search for a land. I definitely want to be able to, so definitely swing with these two, force a trade there. Swing with the Gruff, opponent probably. Opponent probably just cashes in the life. Holding these two back because I still need menace. Opponent does have to block the Gruff at least. They can also block with Wildfield, Scarecrow, Sack. There's no... Takes them down to 2. That's also an alternate plan. I probably would do that as well. That actually might not be so bad. I probably also would cash in the Angel token. I don't think going down to 2 is a good idea. Yeah, opponent cashing in those timeouts. Okay, opponent gets 2 lands in hand. Also means that this is not going to be able to chump. So let's see what our opponent's last card is. Could I have swung with... If I swung with Soul of Emancipation, that would have made it hard on the crackback. Okay, opponent going to combat. Actually, if they're just going down... It's going to take me down to 5, I'm fine with this. So it takes them up to 8. Ballista Charger. They can crew it to make it into a 6/6. So that gives them 1 blocker. So let's say they block this one. That's, yeah, we have more than enough. Because this is only on attack. Yeah. Oh, Ballista Charger is actually decent, but not from behind. And opponent sees it. Yeah, they would. Their life total was already too low at that point. Attacking with the Gloomfang was probably a mistake. Actually, I think attacking altogether might have been a mistake. But if we drew, if our opponent doesn't know, if we drew into a removal spell, it would have been really bad. So opponent was. I probably would have swung with both, but yeah, it was bad either way. Opponent really needed to have a better follow-up. Truth be told, I think most of the vehicles are not exactly that great. Well, there are a few. We know what they are. We can all blame Greasefang for making them nuts. Okay, this time we got our first really horrible hand. We really cannot keep this. You're taking them all. Ugh. I'm binning the Gruff, but I'm... So I need to decide if I want to hold up Quench or if I want to just play Nectar Pod. I probably just hold up Quench. I can play Nectar Pod next turn. We'll take the tree for now. Not today. Ooh, Arctic Tree Line would be nice. I guess we can play... Yeah, we can play Nectar Pod, Arctic Tree Line, gain our life back. Gives us a blocker for the Harvest Tide Sentry. Next turn, we can play the Expedition Diviner next turn, or combination of Impulse Imprison. Opponent willing to trade. Whenever you draw a card, so this is gonna become how do you say this? Annoyingly big. Yeah, definitely want to take. Not liking the fact that we just ramped our opponent, but we can't afford to take that much damage. So next turn, well, this opponent is... Ooh, Patrician Geist is interesting. So I definitely want to play Expedition Diviner, though I also like the Farfinder Druid combo. Yeah, we're probably not blocked. Opponent doesn't really have spells in the graveyard. We're not... Yeah. We'll do this. Takes one land out of the equation. We'll take the 2 as expected. Opponent is kind of stuck though, so we'll take advantage of that. Though they might also be sitting in counter spells, which would be annoying. Essence Scatter. They were sitting in a counter spell. No way out of that for us. Yeah, maybe in that instance it was better to play the... Ooh, Garuda. Ooh, they could... Oh, and they get to hit... Oh, because it's not casting, they actually get it for free. It's nuts. Yeah, now we're in real trouble. Yeah, opponent just ramped up to this one. We'll have to give up this one. We would need... The value they got off this was... Let's see, what did they... Well, we also lost our Soul of Emancipation, so... Yeah, we're not winning this at all. Why am I blocking that? I might as well block this. And our opponent did. And our opponent just ran this as part of the 6. As part of the deck, not the companion effect. Yeah, we're not winning this one. We would need... Let's see what we can hit. And that's only putting it on top, so we would... Yeah, we would have to chump block with both. Yeah, we're gonna be dead either way. I think in that instance, the correct play, the better play would have been the flyer, so we would have mitigated the damage from the patrician. Unfortunately, there was no way we were beating Garuga, taking up one of our bigger creatures. And milling all our good cards in the process. Yeah, there's no out for us there. At least we got to 3 wins. So we're on par already with our last performance, but I'm still hoping we can do better. Let's see if we can make that happen. Actually, after this, yeah, my first plan after this is download Windows 11, but I'm probably not gonna run it yet. Definitely start working the backup while I'm here. Oh yeah, did I mention I'm gonna be out of town near the end of this week? So definitely going for turn 2 Nectar Pot, so Thornwood Falls comes in first. As much as I like the turtle, there's no actual reason for it yet. Ooh, do I want to hold a Quench? Yeah, I actually want to hold a Quench. No, opponent respects it, so... Thriving Turtle. Tidal Terror for the island cycling. Okay, they... Now, we could just play this right away, but I guess I could. Our opponent did tap out, so... Yeah, opponent really respecting us here. Yeah, this is gonna be the control battle. Yeah, we're just gonna keep pinging our opponent. Also, yeah, you drew into this, but you played this, so you really telegraphed the 3 mana counter spell. No, unfortunately, this is an ETB, so... One is eventually gonna have to do something. They know I'm sitting on a counter spell. I know they're sitting on a counter spell. Sundu. Yeah, they can have that. I can't counter that. I can still punch through it though. Make sure we counter the right one. And the counter spell war is over. So... Yeah, I think we get this one. I probably should... Oh, I have Proliferate as an option. But I'm probably just gonna go tin the deck even more. So we're gonna swing first. Now that said, because of that counterspell battle, our opponent can now drop something really big. We kind of gun shields down just for this. Though at the 3-4, I guess it's kind of worth. So now here's the question. So pirate, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna sacrifice this guy because he's not getting past anytime soon. Opponent actually a bit into cycling, though this also could be incidental. There's no reason to believe that they just happen to draft the all cycling deck. Though they do happen to be in the main cycling colors. Main cycling colors for Amonkhet. Opponent now needs to hold up 5 mana if they want to keep indestructible. They're just gonna do Artful Takedown instead. Pretty decent. Ugh. At least I did not invest that much into it. Also, technically, this would have been... Opponent draws a few cards. Makes you wish you had Orcish Bowmasters. Nah. Okay, do they have any more removal now that they have raid? Wow, now we're really just flooded. Probably gonna start keeping some lands back here, but we really need to hit our Soul of Emancipation. Otherwise, any way to imprison on the moon is gonna be decent as well. But yeah, it might be our turn to lose at this point. 7. Oh man, that's big. Guess we draw a card. Cunning Cast. Ooh, but because we played the land, we can't really use the draw and discard part quite well. I'm probably still gonna do it anyway, but pass. So now the... Oh yeah, also now that we have our other wizard, Arcane Flight. Yeah, we're... Ooh, this is really nasty. Yeah, we're definitely chump blocking. So our opponent investing only 1 into this. So that nets us another card. Please be something useful. We can milk it. I can prop. But yeah, now we need to have a way to nuke this one. Imprisoned by the Moon would be a really good one here. Opponent takes out Talus Lookout. We still net another card in the process. Ooh, opponent just bounce. Oh, and they get to return this. Yikes.
Time to set sail. Let's try this.
I'm gonna see which one our opponent. Oh wait, our opponent can take both out. I forgot the graphics. Oops. Should have punched with everything. Oh. we do get to punish it a little bit though. This is an attack trigger, so and it's tap 2 creatures you control. So okay, we're fine at that. Yeah, we should have swung with the rest though. Push opponent now going for the large contortionist troop. Opponent really dedicated to nuking Jace. There's not an argument also for
It's a matter of give and take.
Yeah, this is desperate though. I could have also sacked one of these first, but we're unlikely to get back from this. Do they have a way to? Oh, they have a fight spell? Okay, they did have the fight spell. So, not great. Just flooded. We can. Soul is not gonna actually save us at this point, so we're actually gonna just concede here. Yeah, opponent just has more creatures there. Yeah, that wasn't a feel good, but we really got flooded there. Despite the number of extra cards we were drawing, we just hit our flood. We just got flooded there. There is no good out with that one. The elusive fort win. Will we be able to conquer that fort? Let's find out. I actually like the direction the deck is at, so that's probably why I haven't felt the incentive to try the green pivot. It's actually doing quite well, for all things considered. Okay, so turn 2 Nectar Pot, into turn 3 hold for Deny Existence, maybe a Dead Eye Ring Caller turn 4, so definitely keeping this one. Also note, I did draft that Mistwraven, right? I never drew it. What the heck? So depending on what creature our opponent drops turn 2, okay, they did not drop a creature turn 2. So let's see what they drop turn 3. Helica Glider. It still has the counter on it, so... Oh wait, hold on. Let's see if our opponent figures this out. They sensed it. Now we have to hold up Deny Existence. Well, we can take the 2 just fine for now. Yeah, that's worth countering. That should set them back a bit in tempo. Next turn, when it's still playing Helica Glider, they might go for first strike this time into a 4 Halberd, which they can pay to equip. Nasty. So knowing that, I can't really swing with this. I can minimize it. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, because of the timing, it shifts that out. So now I get to swing with this. Let's see if they notice. Yeah, they noticed. Yeah, we're gonna need to start drawing and discarding, so definitely want to start holding on to lands. We still need to have 7 mana though, so let's keep that in mind. Let's not just let's be careful how aggressively we mill things. Mm-hmm. Okay, now it begins. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one really is an all-star from Warlock class. What's if a creature died this turn, each opponent loses 1 life. We're gonna be taking a lot of damage here. And once again, the flood is real, so maybe our opponent just cashes this in. I would not mind that. Now, what are the odds that Quench actually does something? Opponent's 1 mana shy of activating Warlock class, so that's not happening. Also, can't really chump block quite yet. Yeah, I guess I could have waited on this one, but considering that most of our answers are sorcery speed, we actually had to do this then. So we'll take. Can't really chump block here. We'll have to do it next turn. Oh wow. Is it another land? Please no. Imprison. Biograph is fine, I guess. So now we have a decent way to block. Unfortunately, they also have a Doom Blade. So now we're in chump block mode. That is annoying. Can't complain. I can actually complain a little bit because that is rare, but let's see. Yeah, I actually have to hold back now because if they have any removal, we're really just dead. And I can't rely on Quench now. Yeah, we're just dead. Well, that is the journey. Well, that's just how it goes. But I actually like this one a lot better. We did kind of wish we hit the soul of Emancipation, but I guess I'm not meant to be. Not, but that. I probably would prefer mixed up draft to be a lot cheaper. I maybe even Phantom, but I guess I guess this rate it's fine too. But I'm not gonna expect much in the way of strategy. You really just have to hit your rares That's all there is to it. That's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Nice strong Have a great week, everyone. Take care.